Hi, you guys. This is Malika from Malika Semper Astrology. I had to unmute myself. There we go. Real quick for a moment first, I want to talk about the full moon coming in. So this week we have a big old fat full moon in Sagittarius, which in my opinion is one of the easier full moons to work with because Sagittarius is all about luck and prospering and good fortune, and everything feels larger than life under Sagittarius full moon, and it tends to take on a more optimistic, positive spin with Sag. That is the lens through which they tend to view life. So, living under a big, huge Sagittarius full moon coming in on June 11th. And this is falling at 20 degrees of Sagittarius. So I would love for you guys to find in your own chart where 20 degrees of Sagittarius falls. Look what house it falls into. And that's going to be the area of life that is really lit up, really illuminated during this full moon. So the conversations of that house, the topics of that house is what's going to most likely be in the forefront for you. We're leading up to it as I'm making this video. We're leading up to it, and so we can feel the energy building. Under a full moon in Sagittarius, we can feel expansive. We can feel like luck is on our side. We can feel extra risky, like we want to take the risk. We want to say yes. It's really big yes energy under a heightened Sagittarius energetic. You know, Sagittarius is the sign of wisdom, higher learning, higher seeking, seeking wisdom, life philosophies, higher education. And so we also have this opportunity to sort of rise up and level up with this particular full moon. We're not here to play small this week, especially in the area of life, whatever house this is illuminating for you. So, for example, in my chart, it's waking up my fourth house, which is already super awake because I have a ton of planets there. So the fourth house is all things family. It's family, it's roots, it's my lineage, it's everything on the domestic home front. And so those things will tend to come into the forefront for me with this particular full moon. So we can feel, and I want you guys to really tap into and embody the lightness of being with the Sagittarius full moon. Life doesn't have to be so serious and heavy all the time, says the Sag full moon. And, living under this more carefree sky, the moon is in Sagittarius, which then means the sun is in Gemini. Both of these signs tend to be a little bit more carefree and lighthearted. So it really is this moon where we can sort of drop the cloak of heaviness right now in our lives and tap more into the lightness of being. What am I supposed to be learning here? Says Sagittarius, also asks Gemini, right? Sag and Gemini, it's the student, the teacher, the student. Generally, we find Gemini, the Gemini sun right now, at the desk being the student. Generally, we find Sagittarius at the chalkboard at the head of the class teaching its wisdoms. However, they're both mutable signs. So the sun and the moon are in mutable signs, and mutable signs are ever changing. So Sag and Gemini, they flip-flop, they change. One minute Sag will be in the desk and Gemini will be the teacher. The next minute, they'll rearrange again and switch sides. And so the big question, what am I supposed to be learning? Where do I get really excited? Where do I find joy in life? Where do I feel like I'm growing and expanding? Those are the questions to ask during this week, during this full moon. And those are the answers to sort of go out and seek. The more sillier you are, the more inappropriate you are, the more we laugh at inappropriate times, the more you're falling in line with this cosmic energy right now. So, really taking advantage of this because we've had some heavy cosmic weather, right? We can also feel it as a collective. And finally, it's like this break. We get this break midweek. And we're taking it into the weekend too, because we'll definitely still be in the full moon energy. So really tapping into, gosh, I just want to shed some of the heaviness and look at things from a different perspective, a different lens that sees the glass as half full, right? I want to grab onto the wisdoms that I've collected. I want to find my friends and have fun and go on adventure and travel and just feel free and lighthearted with this particular full moon. So enjoy this because we don't have this at our fingertips all the time. All right, you guys, I'll check back in next week. Thanks for watching.